Hey guys, I wanted to offer you a tip or maybe some ideas. When you're getting ready to start running your brake line, this is specifically to brake lines. You could probably even do it for fuel lines too, but specific to brake lines, when you're getting ready to run them, this particular car I converted to manual brakes and four-wheel discs, and I ended up having to basically manufacture all new lines. And so when I was doing that, I started looking at ways to protect the lines against abrasion, road debris, that sort of thing. And came up with a couple of ideas, and I'll show you kind of what I ended up doing, and then some afterthoughts, things that I wasn't planning on, but it actually worked out. So when I was doing the fronts specifically, you have your line, and you can buy spring wrap. That's kind of what this is, and it gives you a factory, basically a factory kind of look when you put the spring wrap on. You do this before you flare it. I use these on the fronts, and it gives you a good measure of protection, and it looks neat. It looks correct, if you will, and it worked really well. It's not too expensive, but I think I got these at like SoCal Speed Shop. But some other things, I ended up going to Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the hardware stores, I forget which. And I was walking around one day, found myself in the weather strip section. And I found this weather strip. I don't know, this door or window or something, but basically this stuff here, it's kind of in a half circle, if you will, and it's hollow. The flat portion was adhesive. So what I ended up doing was getting some of this and wrapping it around the differential with the adhesive. And then I ended up using, see if I can show you here, zip ties. So I ended up using zip ties to hold it in place. And originally when I did this, I liked it. It looked pretty good, it looked neat, and was pretty happy with it. And then when I had to put my sway bar in, I was monkeying around with the differential, and I ended up tweaking these lines. So the line used to fit a lot nicer and neater, but I ended up tweaking them. Anyway, after the sway bar and everything was in there, I noticed that there was a lot of potential areas where a line could get chafed, it could get kinked, it could get hit, it could be compromised. And one of the things I ended up doing that was cheap was just some rubber fuel line. I got a length of it, split it, and I just put it right over the top of the line, and then you can zip tie it to the axle if you choose to. I ran this all the way out to where it runs into the caliper, and it just gives you a good measure of protection against a lot of that kind of stuff. You get some movement, but as your suspension flexes, it's nice to have protection for that, so you don't have to remake those lines, because they're a pain in the butt to make, to get them looking right and fitting right and that sort of thing. And then later I was looking at some options, and another thing that came up I just thought of was you could get you some heat shrink tubing. Same thing, just get you the right diameter, put it over before you flare it, and then after you're all done, you could go ahead and shrink that, and that would give you a nice, neat, finished appearance that gives you a little measure of protection. So between the spring, between the fuel line, between the weather stripping, between the shrink wrap, a lot of options there for you to potentially protect your brake lines. So anyway, if any of that helps, that's the idea. And cheap and easy, keeps these projects moving forward. And unless you're doing a concourse restoration, this is the kind of stuff that gets you to make your end goal. So I hope it helps.